fantastic. Plastic, fantastic. Plastic, fantastic.
Hi, I'm Ellie and you're watching Ellie Max's Effects, and welcome to this mask tutorial. A while back we did a Twisted the Clown mask tutorial using Ellimorph, and it was both popular and I really liked the... That was both popular and I really enjoyed making. Stop. Okay, again. A while back we did a Twisted the Clown mask tutorial using Ellimorph that I... suck. That was... So today we're doing another cool mask, and this time it's with monster teeth and barbed wire. Also, you get a glimpse at a new product coming this December 2016, so I really hope you like this tutorial and tell us in what creative ways you've used Ellimorph, and don't forget to subscribe.
This tutorial requires intermediate skills and requires about 1 to 2 hours to complete. Much like our Twisted the Clown mask, this is created using only Ellimorph Plastic and paint. And the mask weighs in at 120 grams, including the barbed wire, so you don't need any extreme amounts of Ellimorph Plastic to get this done. And of course, you can create the mask using papier mache, tin foil, or any other creative method, if you don't have Ellimorph Plastic. Heat up the water to 62 degrees Celsius, pour down the Ellimorph Plastic pellets in the water, let them turn clear, and then we have a gooey mess we can build with. And first on our to-do list is prepping the teeth, and this time we're doing a long string like this. We are going to create saber teeth. Long, pointy, sharp, nasty looking teeth. You can use a pair of scissors to cut them up if you like. And since we want similar teeth on each side of the mask, we create these teeth in pairs. So 2 and 2. Make as many or as few as you want on your mask. We actually didn't have a super clear idea of how many we wanted to use, so we made quite a bunch. Next up, we're going to create a gum-shaped little foot to all our teeth that we're going to use when we attach it to the mask. But instead of using our red Ellimorph Plastic, which we feel is a little bit too magenta or blue in the color tone, we are going to be using Ellimorph Dust, our cool new product that will let you color white Ellimorph Plastic into any color you like. It's a super fine coloring powder that you apply on a flat piece of Ellimorph Plastic, just like Ellie does here. And then you fold over the edges so you don't get it on your hands and fingers. And then you knead that color into the plastic. And boom, it will turn red. The Ellimorph Dust will be available in 8 nice colors in our store this December. Announcement to come. When the Ellimorph Dust is worked into the plastic, we have a nice red tone. And from that, we create a tiny little base for our tooth. Just like that. And we apply one of these little feet to all of our teeth. And we're going to use them to attach the teeth to our mask, as I mentioned earlier. Just stick them in there. Make sure they stick. And we do that to all our teeth. While we let that batch of teeth cool off, we create the barbed wire. Now you better be careful, cause those edges of the wire could be sharp. We cut them up in 10 centimeter pieces, something like that, and then we twist them around each other. Then you have a piece looking like that. Make a few of them, and then you take 2 of those pieces and simply just twist those ends until they are super short there. Then you just repeat the process until you have a good length of barbed wire. And yes, you have essentially created a real barbed wire, so do not leave this on the floor and handle it with care, because it's sharp. And then we just try out the length on our face cast like this. Talent shout out! And in this shout, we are heading home to Sweden and SFX Filippa. Go check out her awesome stuff, and do not forget to follow. Going forward, creating the base of our mask, and this time we are doing a sort of roll of Ellimorph, and we place that on our face cast just like this. And you can of course do this straight onto your face and let the plastic turn cool and hard, and then you will have the exact shape of your face. Just make sure the plastic isn't too hot. And for the sake of experimenting, we are mixing red and yellow Ellimorph to try to match that up with the color we have on the base of our teeth. But as always, the color choices are all up to you. To give the base of the mask more strength and stability, we are stretching out sort of like a grid of little Ellimorph strings over the face, creating a really solid structure. After that, we dip our little red-tipped teeth in water, turning the plastic soft, and then we also use a blow dryer to soften the plastic and make it fuse together. Using this method, you don't have to use any glue at all. Just make sure you warm up that red piece of plastic and attach it straight onto the Ellimorph of our mask base. And then just continue on and on and on. My teeth are made of plastic. In Swedish is mina tänder är gjorda av plast. And remember, if the plastic is turning too solid to work with, always dip it in hot water or use that blow dryer to soften it up again. Now we have something looking like this. And now we need to fill out those hollowed areas, and we do that with strings and patches of Ellimorph. Just randomly fill it out. And Ellie is going over the whole thing with a blow dryer on the edges there to make it much easier to shape. With all that plastic in place, it's time to create that fleshy looking texture. And for that, Ellie is using a pointy metal tool. You can use anything similar you have with a kind of thin pointy tool, and simply just dab down in the soft plastic, making little dents in it like that, all over the place until you get a nice weird texture. And again, we're using the blow dryer to heat up that plastic to make it soft enough to make little dents in it, just like that. Alright, so with all that structure and texture in place, we have something looking like this. Next up, paint job. And well, do not do what we did. Do not start off painting the teeth like Ellie is doing here. Instead, go for painting that solid red back and gum of the mask instead before you do the teeth. Because we ended up having to go back and clean up all our teeth and repaint them. So we are using a dark black, brown, and maroon color to color that red back. And here Ellie is cleaning out the teeth. And with that gum painted and all the teeth cleaned up, she sets the color using hairspray. Spray on, let it dry, and then we can do the teeth. Starting with yellow, working our way from the base and upwards, and then continuing with a much darker brown tone at the very base of the teeth. Also working our way upwards a tiny little bit, just like that. And again, we set all that color using hairspray. Attaching the barbed wire to the mask can be done in many ways. Make sure you don't have any pointy things coming over to touch your skin. And then you simply just bend over those wire pieces onto the back of the mask. Then Ellie's putting a piece of tape there just to hold them in place and bends tiny little loops like that. And since the barbed wire is not yet secured, we are simply placing a solid chunk of Ellimorph plastic onto that loop. Just make sure there is a little bit of wire left and a little loop, because that's where you'll attach the twine later so you can put the mask on your face. Again, we are using the blow dryer to soften that plastic so that we can work it in and make those different pieces of plastic fuse together. And as you know, Ellimorph plastic turns into solid, rock-hard plastic when it's cool. So you have one very solid mask when you're ready. Cut off those pieces of twine, attach them to your little loops on the back, No rocket science here, and that's actually the last step. Because then you are ready with your awesome, what do we want to call this? Is it a horror mask? Is this a saber-tooth barbed wire monster mask? Anyway, we love how it came out, and we hope you do too. Spice this up with a rough makeup and you have an awesome costume that you can reuse over and over again. So there you have it, the saber-tooth barbed wire monster strange mask. And as I said earlier, of course, if you don't have access to Ellimorph Plastic, you can create this using tinfoil, papier mache, or any other kind of technique out there. So go create super cool masks and tag us on Instagram so we can see them. You take good care out there and we will see you soon. Goodbye.